there earlier on the captain. It can always be a Wing Wednesday. There's nothing wrong with some wings. I'm Jake Bachman. He is Nate Brennan, and we're ready for another day of the Ticket Water Cooler. Nate, how's your day going? We often ask you, have you eaten your blueberries yet?
I've not had my blueberry. I actually forgot to buy blueberries this week, so that's probably why I've been a little bit off, had a little bit of congestion, or maybe it's just because the weather goes from 95 degrees to 55. But I'm a little bit heated because I came in here all excited. Virginia Tech is officially the second-ranked team in the country, consensus for baseball.
Cool.
And if they make it to Omaha, I told everyone, you won't see me for a week. I'm going on a little bit of sabbatical, okay? I've already informed my other employer. I've now informed the radio station, and everyone just says no. What is that supposed to mean? If Nebraska went to the College World Series, you guys would take the week off. You're already taking like 3 weeks off.
I'm going to be working.
I'm going to be working too. I told you I'll go live. That's right. I'll go live from Omaha.
I mean, I think that if Virginia Tech makes it, I think you should probably deserve to at least go up there and see a game or two, don't you think?
Yeah, you think? Wouldn't that be nice? I think that would be a good gift. I think that'd be a good gift.
I'll tell you this. You can go to game 3 of the finals if they make it.
But that's a big if. I want to go to every single game. I'll go live.
No, you can't. You can't just use that as a buffer. Because you work at the station. I'll go live.
I can go live.
Nobody cares about Virginia Tech.
Everyone cares about it. If they're the second-ranked team in the country, their first time in Omaha, they're going to be the story of the tournament. I guarantee it. They will. They will. They've never been. Never in Omaha.
Story of the Nate and I did make not a bet, but an agreement that he said he would buy me a Virginia Tech shirt if they win.
Absolutely,
if they go to the College World Series, and
I'll buy the whole station. Virginia Tech shirt.
Are you going to get the orange, predominantly orange shirt? You think, or
I don't know.
more that purplish?
I'm much more of a gray guy, so if they have just a gray, just nice shirt that just has a Virginia Tech logo,
or just a giant. The turkey, just like a giant turkey.
Giant turkey.
Yeah.
You could get the old school. I'm a big fan of the old school, the T inside the V. That's an awesome.
What's that from? They really do like to promote that.
I have no idea, but they used to put it on helmets, and that was a really cool helmet.
Yeah.
Or you just want the Hokey Bird?
Yeah, I just would like the bird.
The Hokey Bird, I'll remember that for the cup that I'm getting you for your birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Eric says bleep Virginia Tech. Eric, come on. He'd be the story of the tournament.
You don't have to hate Virginia Tech. There's no reason to hate Virginia Tech.
They're the most innocent team probably out of every school, except for like NC State.
Well, I still hold that grudge from 2008 and 2009, but whatever.
I mean, both teams were like just meh. Virginia Tech actually ended up winning the ACC one of those years.
Yeah, 2009 was like Nebraska's best year since 2001. So even if they're mad to you, that was a special year, and Nebraska really needed to win that one.
Listen, this is the thing. I don't know why people can't go both ways, because I root for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska's at the top of my priority list. I keep in touch with the recruiting, the coaching, all sports, whether they're good or bad. The least you guys could do is be happy for me. Second in baseball, third in softball. They're on a tear. They're the only team in the country that's top 5 in both.
Yeah, we'll see if it turns into anything. The Big Ten tournament that we all hope Nebraska would get to. Well, Nebraska wouldn't have played anyway today. There's too much rain. So the Big Ten tournament has been postponed.
Oh, so now they postponed.
Yeah, now they're
actually serious inclement weather.
They did postpone. Well, they just canceled, I suppose.
They just canceled that game.
And canceled
it was much better weather. Maybe Nebraska should just build a dome.
Yeah, they've thought about that. I mean,
like
you're going to
trap.
I shouldn't say they've thought about that, but that's been thrown around. It'd
be cool.
It would be cool. And there's almost every year there's a few like rain delays or something, something at the College World Series too. So
heck, there might be snow at this rate.
I don't think
that would be horrible. That's the thing. I tweeted yesterday. I was kind of worried that rain. I mean, it was a cold rain. I was worried that it was going to turn into snow. Nebraska has cracked. That's cracked me.
Yeah,
like it has broken me down.
Well, I know you haven't been here for too long, but this late in May, there's usually not going to be any snow. I think
usually, see, I love how you said usually. You didn't say there's no chance.
I would say there's almost, maybe 0.1%.
Has it ever snowed in June?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Has it?
Not
don't dare lie to me, Puck. Has it snowed?
I'm not a weather history buff, but I'm assuming not. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't like that answer. I don't like how you answered that just because you're assuming that it didn't. There's a chance.
It's like it's going to be like 105 in June.
It was hot.
It gets really, actually, it's really bad in July and August more so than June, but it can get pretty bad.
Even into September, it's still pretty hot. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there was a game last year with like 105.
Yeah.
During a football game.
Yeah, hopefully not. I can. I don't. Can you stand more the extreme cold or the extreme warm? The extreme hot.
Extreme hot because I'm more used to it.
Yeah.
Humidity and heat doesn't really bother me that much. But I always thought like it was pretty cold in Virginia when it gets like 15, 20 degrees. Then I came here and I experienced a whole different version of cold. Pecan Pie says, Nate, is VT the home of Thanksgiving? I mean, their mascot is the main dish of dinner and colors are the same too. Why don't the fans dress up as pilgrims too? Horrible colors and mascot. Do better, Virginia. I regret reading that.
Right.
But Pecan Pie, actually, what's cool is I don't know if they still are, but when I was in college, they had the pardon turkeys every year.
They
Virginia
pardon the
Tech did.
turkey.
You know how the president always pardons 2 turkeys?
Yeah.
1 or 2 turkeys. They always came from Virginia Tech.
Oh, they
So
do.
we have like an ag school and like cattle and all that kind of stuff. So we have turkeys on campus, and the pardon turkeys used to come from Virginia Tech. I don't know if they still do, but they did when I was in college.
What is a hokie compared to a turkey?
Well, okay, listen. So the Hokie is basically similar to a Hoosier, like Indiana. A Hokie is technically someone that goes to Virginia Tech. The Hokie bird, yes, no, I'm serious.
It's like a Virginia, like a Virginia.
No, it's
person?
someone that goes to Virginia Tech. What's the like a Hokie? A Hokie is someone. I'm serious. Like it's like if I said, "What's a Hoosier?" It's someone from Indiana.
Yeah, someone
That's
from
the-
Indiana.
No,
not that
a
goes to
Hokie
Indiana.
is someone that went to Virginia Tech. It's very specific school, but the Hokie bird is a turkey.
In like a real. If you look up hokie bird, it's like a type of turkey.
No. They just made it up
Oh, okay.
because they used to be the fighting gobblers, and they got rid of that. Hokies is way
How long
cooler.
ago was that?
I don't know, like the 40s maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I used to have a fighting gobbler shirt.
Fighting
It was pretty
gobblers
cool.
is kind of cool.
I'm pretty sure I ripped it. It's gone.
Yeah. What's the? I'm gonna forget it. The bug eaters. You ever hear about that?
What?
Nebraska, like back in the 1890s, before they were once the Golden Knights. They've been in a few different things, including bug eaters.
The bug eaters.
Yeah, we're glad that they got rid of that one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But this is what I don't understand. I want you to explain this to me. So when they do athletics, they go by the Cornhuskers, but also the Huskers. Which one is it? Like it's like touchdown. Most people say touchdown Huskers. They don't say touchdown Cornhuskers. And if you buy any of their athletic gear, it always just says Huskers. None of it says Cornhuskers. Why is that?
They made a transition in, like in the 90s, it was kind of Cornhuskers, and then they kind of cleaned it up. It's like the Facebook, get rid of the, makes it a lot cleaner. And just I think for a while it was like corn wasn't cool. Now corn's cool. Now you're like our corn's
cool.
better than your corn.
Screw you, Iowa.
So Cornhuskers I think is cool again, but for a while it was like, what is even that? You're just a farmer? That's not cool. And then so they're just like, all right, well then we're just the Huskers.
Cool. I kind of like the Cornhuskers.
But it's like they're still the Cornhuskers. It's like the New York Knickerbockers. Nobody calls them that. They're the Knicks, but
the Knickerbockers was cool though.
That's what they are.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, I know. Virginia Tech, blah, blah, blah. Oh, gift for the Hokie. Nice, John. I like it. Craig says, no, you know what? I'm not even going to read the Virginia Tech slander anymore. We have cool colors. We have a cool mascot. I'm leaving it at that. The Hokie bird is cooler than, I'm not going to say that because people will come at me.
Herbie. Half of us want to get rid of Little Red.
He's better than Little Red. I will say that. Herbie the Husker's kind of cool. He's kind of creepy, though.
Do you like the fact that he can take his hat off or no? Do you think his hat should be stitched on? I've never seen
that.
Oh, you haven't?
So he can take off the hat?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know. I like what color is his hair?
It's brown. Yeah.
Brown?
It's just got a whole, it's kind of patted down.
I mean, Herbie the Husker's kind of cool.
He's kind of cool. Have you seen the past renditions of him?
No, I haven't.
Much cooler and much scarier.
Oh, really?
Very scary.
See, that's what we need. We need a scary mascot.
Yeah, I think we do.
I just want...
Ours looks like he's going to, sit you down and pay for your dinner.
I always thought, like, the Cornhuskers, though, they should just have a giant corn.
Yeah.
Just like a corn person.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
It would be scary. It'd be cool. Like Stanford does the card.
That's a terrifying tree. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't we just have a corn?
Yeah, I think they should. I was listening to, I think it was the captain the other day where they were talking about if they should put at least, some, maybe your mascot, you can have a live mascot, just have a corn on the field.
That would be awesome.
Like, you know how the Georgia does between the hedges? I think we should just have between the corn rows. Just have some cornrows on there. I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Travis says Husker fans should pay attention to what VT does in men's sports. Leaps and bounds better in all 3 sports.
Hey,
Football ain't going to be the case this year.
yeah.
Basketball, certainly. They make the tournament. They made the tournament 6 straight years, I think. They make the tournament a lot, and baseball's second in the country. So, yeah, maybe so, but not in football. Last year, yeah. Trust me, I will say this in full confidence. If you are a Husker fan, you are in much better shape with Scott Frost than Virginia Tech was with Justin Fuente. And I say that with full confidence. You guys are spoiled to have Scott Frost. I'll go ahead and say that compared to the train wreck that Virginia Tech has been dealing with for the past 5 seasons.
All this Justin Fuente slander. What was his record at Virginia Tech compared to Scott Frost's record?
His record was probably better. But the thing is, the problem with Justin Fuente is he was given a golden egg. Like, he was handed down the first year when they won 10 games. 9 of their players on defense went on to play in the NFL. A lot of them have flamed out, but a few are still. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds, Terrell Edmonds, Chuck Clark, to name a few, all starters in the NFL. 9 players, Tim Settle, who just signed with Buffalo Bills. 9 players who played on defense.
43 and 31. Man, he's a
43
god
and
compared
31.
to Scott Frost.
Look at those recruiting classes, though, Bach. The recruiting classes tell the full story. And when you look at the top part of when he had all those defensive players, he had 10 wins, 9 wins. Completely tanked after that. The program was headed in a dark hole. It was bad. It was really
4
bad.
straight bowl games. Oh my goodness! What a run he had.
That's a run. That's the thing is when he was given
Compared
Beamer's
to what we've had recently,
with Beamer's recruits, he was great. The problem is Scott Frost is still a great recruiter. I stand by that. I think for Nebraska, for the cards that they're dealt, Scott Frost is a good recruiter. He's obviously good at recruiting the transfer portal because they had the 6th best class in the country.
He's good at recruiting guys that go to the transfer portal too.
See, that's what I'm saying. But Justin Fuente burned bridges with everyone in the state of Virginia, and we've talked about this extensively. Virginia is a hotbed for recruits. I mean, Virginia has plenty of recruits. Nebraska's stolen a few kids from Virginia because they just have that good of recruiting. Justin Fuente burned bridges with all of them. High school coaches didn't even talk to him anymore because they didn't want their kids going to Virginia Tech. That's been done. Brent Pry's in. We'll be fine. But trust me, you are in better shape with Scott Frost. I guarantee it.
Well,
Full confidence, I can say.
For what it's worth, Scott Frost is still here, so I suppose that says something. Robert Duck from LinkedIn says, between the corn stalks, there should be children of the corn. Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be so scary.
Yeah,
That would be
little
awesome.
children, for some reason, are scary, even though they, they're tiny.
Why does
they
everyone
can't do much.
Why does it Pecan Pie says anything is better than the Little Red? Why does everyone hate Little Red so much?
I think it's because when he was introduced in the 90s too. I heard somebody saying it was because his era hasn't gone as well at Nebraska since he's been brought on. I think more than anything, it's just we feel like he's the most the least important that we could sacrifice to the football gods to get this thing turned around.
Sacrificing the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted that not too long
But
ago.
the football gods might not even accept that. They're like, we know that's your second favorite mascot.
What is that?
You can't just Plus, it's
And
just a
isn't
big
it
balloon guy.
inflatable?
Yeah.
Who came up with that? When did that become a thing?
Oh, it's gained some popularity over the last couple of years. I'm not sure why. People have started to turn on Little Red though, and I know we have a helium shortage, but I wouldn't mind like the send off to the helium balloon is just filling Little Red up with helium and seeing him go.
And just letting him go.
And then that would be very
Husker fans
would
would
breathe
lose
a
it.
sigh of relief.
That would be kind of awesome. You see the Little Red floating into the sky.
Yeah.
He's gone. He ends up in Kansas.
Yeah, whoever gets him can have him.
He's yours now. Kansas needs something. They can have him.
Aaron Beat said this, I think the other day. He's got a pretty good idea. How about instead of letting balloons go, we have a Roman candle war at Little Red is what he had. Okay, 90,000 people with a Roman candle war at Little Red. That'd be fun.
Well, I just don't understand why Little Red of everything is the sacrifice here. Like, how does this come to be?
Well, Herbie's not going to float very far.
No, but again, Herbie's kind of cool. He has his moments.
See, and then the other thing is people like 90s Herbie. He had overalls. He was blonde, and Nebraska won. That was the biggest thing.
When did they get rid of that?
I think it was like 2004. Steve Peterson. 2004 might be late now. Yeah, that's about the right time.
Why did they change it?
Just to make him look more modern. And they just change him all the time. They've changed him like every decade to look a little bit different. But the old one, like the 80s one, had like his eyes sticking out. He was very scary.
That's
then
what we need.
Before Herbie, I think his name was Harry Husker, and he just had a huge long head.
Oh,
He was very creepy.
yeah, I don't know about that.
I
And
think
now
we
we're
should-
stuck with Little Red.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm stuck with him.
It's Little Red. See, that's the thing is I see plenty of Herbie Husker memorabilia, the shirts, whatever you want to get it, attire. But I never see anyone wearing like a Little Red shirt.
Well, he's admittedly for the children. I mean, he's for the kids, right? I mean, as is any mascot, I suppose.
That's the thing, but who cares about the kids when you're losing?
Well, the kids don't care if you're not winning.
Let's win, and then we can worry about the kids.
Yeah,
Wasn't there?
a little red
Was that didn't actually happen though? Remember when those jerseys were revealed that they were wearing the Little Red jerseys? Do you remember that was a huge thing on Twitter?
Who had a little red jersey?
Someone on Twitter was like, Nebraska will be unveiling these jerseys.
Oh
this
yeah,
weekend. And it was Little Red. And
That's
then,
right.
But then Husker fans were starting to lose it because they're like, "Is this serious? Are we really going to run out there in Little Red uniforms?" I thought they were at first, actually, for a second.
You actually bought into it?
I actually thought it was real. But then we got to the bottom of it because obviously I follow enough Nebraska people that said that wasn't the case. But if you're just if that goes by on your timeline, you're like, wow, Nebraska's really lost themselves. Like, my goodness.
We don't. That is one thing that we haven't had yet, and maybe it's just because it's the time of the year. When does alternate uniform talk start? When do we get a leak for Nebraska's alternate uniform? What game's it going to be? Probably homecoming against Indiana, as they've shifted.
Is it new every year?
They do one a year, yeah.
And it's something that. What was it last year that was the new one?
I can't remember what exactly it even looked like, but they had like the whole reveal with like Damian Jackson and I think it was, where was that, like Havelock or somewhere? They had, well, but you were like invited, fans were invited to help shoot the promo video, and they just not say anything about the helmet or the uniforms. I can't remember. I mean, it wasn't very memorable, I don't believe.
Yeah. What is up with the stripes on the pants too? I've heard a lot of controversy about that.
They've just had years before where they'd win with stripes. Just different looks. I don't know. It's not. I think that Oklahoma look with the gray face mask looked really clean, and it was just. Like
I thought that was pretty cool too.
I like that. I think they might have to. They might should go to that, but I don't know if they will. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, like for a long time, they wouldn't. They like. Basically, they won't wear all red because they've done that a few times and lost, like when games mattered a little bit more.
So why didn't you wear it against like South Dakota or something? That's what I've never understood. If you always lose in one jersey, incorporate it into a game where you think you're going to win, unless you really are that superstitious. You're like, oh my god.
Well, that's basically what they've done with the alternate uniforms. Is they started them off against the Wisconsins and the UCLA's, and now like. Since they've lost all those games, they're just like, all right, just Northwestern, and so all the alternate uniforms lately have been on scheduled W's, basically.
Smart.
They did wear like cherry red as an alternate against Illinois one year when Randy Greger was here.
Oh, nice.
But that's the only all red I can think of. I like when they go all white though. You like the all white look? Looks clean.
I do like the all. I've always been a fan of all white. I wear white shoes with my suits. When I go into work and wear a suit, I wear white shoes. I'm a big fan of the white. I think white's a clean look. Kelsey says last year's uniform was all white with block NU, and we wore it during the Buffalo game, which was 9/11. I think
that's right.
I think that's right. That's right.
The NU, yeah, that was kind of cool on the helmet, as opposed to the N, which again, when alternate uniforms started or kind of began here in Nebraska around 2012, I think there would have been a riot if you had anything besides the N on the helmet. But yeah, NU was fine.
No, that was cool. And then they had the veterans lead them out of the tunnel.
I believe
I'm remembering now, yeah. And then they had a few.
Yeah, because they had first responders. It was the 9/11, anniversary type of deal. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I think again because it was against Buffalo when you schedule it on the W's, and I know this one was scheduled for 9/11 or whatever, but it's been the same type of idea for years and years to schedule for the wins. And I've cared less. It's weird when that started. Like I was all over alternate uniforms. Big fan. What do the recruits want to say? And I don't. Maybe I'm getting older. Maybe it's just that they've been around for long enough that it's just like I don't really care too much.
Well, again, Alabama doesn't wear any alternate uniforms. Seems to work out pretty well for them. Who else doesn't do alternate uniform? But see, I'd much rather go towards. This might just be me getting old too, Bach. But I'd rather go towards the Alabama route than like Oregon. Yeah.
Or
I
different uniforms.
and I don't know why everyone is so interested in that. I think it's awful. You never know what jersey they're going to wear. It's always some kind of bright color. What they've done to their basketball court is a joke.
Yeah.
It's bad. I really don't like it. So I'd much rather be Alabama and have the same color scheme every single game than do whatever nonsense that is at Oregon. Hate it.
Yeah, I hope I think that Nebraska will stick to the traditional look. And again, it's basically gotten to the point where it's one a year, and it's something to kind of look forward to. I just like to see him do it with a little bit of confidence. Maybe that's what it is. Is it scheduled against somebody that maybe it's a 50-50 game more so than we don't have too many wins on the schedule, so we're going to take it here. Because what difference does it really make? It's not when you go 3-9, we don't think that the problem is the alternate uniform. That's not the
fair
problem.
to assume that's not the problem. Also, Bach, we probably get into it in the next segment, but Jory says, imagine one winning season, Nebraska will probably be 10 to 15 regularly in recruiting.
After one winning season? I don't know. I think Nebraska...
Maybe.
It's hard to get up there. Nebraska recruits itself, I believe, because I've seen it over the years, is basically recruits itself to top 25, that fringe 20 to 25. It's hard to move up too much higher than that sustainably. I think Bo's had a class, same kind of thing. Like
NIL's going to help, though.
Frost, depending on the website, has that number 18 class, but it's hard. Yeah, I think where Nebraska really should shine, and I think should be a part of what they do moving forward, is what they've done this year is a transfer portal, because you have a better idea of plug and play. You're not hoping on a freshman to develop years down the line. It gets a little bit, you can't take 16 a year, and you don't want to get overly become the transfer portal school, because then the freshmen that are coming in see it that you're even if they do get ready, you're going to recruit over them. But I think that's where Nebraska can really shine. And they have. They're one of the best teams in the transfer portal this year.
We'll talk about that in the next segment. And I think that that might be the route they take. But to your point, I don't know if that'll hurt recruiting elsewhere. It would be interesting to see, because you have schools like Alabama who do well, high school recruits, but also in the transfer portal. So winning cures everything. So if you're winning, you'll get recruits out of high school. You'll get transfer portal recruits too. It's just so hard. It's so difficult to see, because when you went 3-9 last year, it makes perfect sense that you would hit the transfer portal. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. But if they're a 10-win team, we might be having a very different discussion with how the recruiting shaped up. Also, Texter says, I missed the Jamal Lords trade.
Yeah, that's a 2002 team where it wasn't. The home uniform I think was awful, but they had the whites with the red all the way down. I thought that looked kind of cool. I liked the away uniforms that year, but they went 7-7 and never looked back. They said, no, we're not wearing this again. But they should wear those as a throwback, I think.
Travis asked, who are the top 5 rankings in transfer portal? Travis, I actually have it right here. I'll do last year. Last year was Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida State, UCLA, USC, Kentucky, Alabama. This year it's USC, Ole Miss, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Nebraska at 6.
Hey, you said top 5. I'm just kidding. You include Nebraska at 6.
Of course I'm going to include Nebraska.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, once Nebraska gets another offensive lineman, they're going to be in that top 5. I stand by that. Will it happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen. But if it does,
there's not like whispers about an offensive lineman, so I'm not sure.
There were whispers about a couple guys that just picked.
That's true. They can happen in like a week. But the transfer portal's shut down. It's closed. Or at least the availability to get in there and play right away. But if you got in and that just hasn't been reported yet, then that could happen too. Charlie Jones, one of the best returners, actually the best kick returner in the Big Ten, it was announced that he hit the transfer portal today out of Iowa. So I'm not sure if he's immediately eligible or not. I'll have to look a little bit more into that.
I have no idea.
Sorry, Iowa. You lost one of your. You
probably do feel sorry for him, Bach, you Iowa fan.
Well, it was. They needed him. They don't have much of an offense usually.
Oh, boo-hoo, Iowa.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll run down our top 5 portal additions for Nebraska. That's coming up next year on the Ticket Water Cooler 93.7 The Ticket. Jake Bachman here. Let me tell you about my friends at Solarion. I've been working with them as a participant in their clinical trials for many years. They help develop new pharmaceutical products, and I get to be a part of it. All I do is check the website for possible studies that might apply to me, see if they fit into my schedule, and if I'm eligible for participation within the parameters laid out, I can make up to $500 per day in a study, and feel confident in the staff and research done by Solarion to be a willing participant. Last year, more than 800 people completed a study in Lincoln, and I was one of them, and will continue to be. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, and with several options for scheduling, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
This is your High School Minute. With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cotto. A.J. Tower hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Wildcats defeated Millard South 11-10 in the Class A title game on Thursday at Tyler Anderson Field for the school's second state championship in the last 3 seasons. Just their second season as a varsity program, Elkhorn North was able to win the Class B baseball championship. Starting pitcher Colin Noizak struck out 10 batters and allowed just 2 hits as his complete game effort led Elkhorn North to a 2-0 win over Waverly, the team's first state championship. Jalen Lloyd of Omaha Central captured the boys' all-class win in the 100-meter dash and the triple jump. Dejaj DeFrand of Lincoln High won the girls' all-class at the track and field state championships in the 100 and 200-meter dash. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu. with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
If I won one of the 8 new trucks the Nebraska Lottery is giving away in Trucks and Bucks 2022, I'd be off-roading all the time through muddy riverbeds, across dusty prairies. I'd treat that truck like a tank. I'd be merciless.
Can I ride along?
Only if you wear shoe covers to protect the carpeting, promise not to eat or drink anything inside the cab, and polish the dashboard when you leave.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you can win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000. How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
$93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln, and has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish, and don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We're about to go back to the year 2010 here in about 10, 15 minutes. One of the better times for Nebraska football. But before we do that, we're looking forward to the better times of Nebraska football by listing out our top 5 additions from the transfer portal. Of course, that excludes the JUCOs, which are even more interesting. I think you can see Deshaun Singleton and Anthony Grant as starters at safety and running back, respectively. Though, I'll have to say, at running back, they're going to have to hold off Jacquez Yant, who was on the captain this afternoon. So if you missed that, go back to the podcast page, or you can find it on Twitter, Facebook, or Twitch, or anything, anywhere where we stream. But kind of cool to always have Jack Yant whenever he is able to stop by, and he's launched his clothing brand. If you were an athlete, clothing brands is kind of the easiest way to get some NIL money out of it, right? Would you have you made a Nathan Brennan like slogan, or would you have made like a NB and then your number on it or something?
Yeah, I'd probably somehow incorporate NB into some type of logo.
Yeah,
you can make it pretty cool. My buddy actually made a shirt. I was reporting live from Nebraska and just a picture of my face. Wore it to a football tailgate, so that was kind of funny.
That's pretty cool. Maybe we should put that on the ticket website. See if anybody buy that.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
maybe. You never know.
You do never know. At least your family might buy a few of them. That makes some NIL money there.
That's right.
You want to go first here with your top 5 additions? There's plenty to go through. Of course, we have the others receiving votes category. I go at the end of anybody that missed our top 5. But I'll let you go first at 5.
Do you want me to go 5, or do you want me to name all of them?
Just go 5. We'll just keep going.
Number 5, I have Brian Buschini. And
Brian Buschini?
I think it's actually, maybe not that it's sad that I have him at 5, but with as bad as special teams were last year, especially punting, it's just like, I don't think it can get any worse. But if it does, it's going to be another dumpster fire. Like, it's going to be another disaster of a season. For crying out loud, against Michigan State. I feel like I bring this up once a week. They didn't give up a first down in the second half, and you lose the game because of special teams. You got to clean up special teams. That starts with the punter. I've got Buschini at 5. I won't say regrettingly, but we've reached the point that a special teams guy needs to be in there.
Yeah, I might even go with Timmy Bleekrode over Buschini, in part because I think Buschini kind of had an up and down spring game anyway, and that's something that can kind of relate to punting as far as anything can kind of transfer over to the games. And yeah, I mean it was kind of hit or miss, but he was the FCS punter of the year, so you got some high hopes there. Timmy Bleekrode, who's yet to arrive on campus, was not at the spring game. It can be a big part of that too, because as often as we talk about how poor Nebraska's red zone offense was, a lot of that was missed field goals. Like when you get nothing out of it,
a lot of it was.
Yeah, when you get nothing out of it, as even opposed to 3 points, which obviously isn't the goal, that's really going to hurt your red zone offense, and it did. And Nebraska obviously thought they were in good hands going into last year with Connor Colt, but didn't turn out that way.
No, not so much.
And it could be such a head game. That's why I hope Bleekrode just, I don't know if he meditates or just keep him in a bubble.
Starts out hot.
Yeah.
Start out hot.
So we'll see. Between those two, I think that is pretty big. At number 5, I have Marcus Washington, the latest addition in the transfer portal. I like his chemistry that he has with Casey Thompson. And the biggest thing is whether it's him. Obviously, I think Trey Palmer will be on this list for both of us, or even Isaiah Garcia-Castanedo. I think it's a little bit overlooked. He had more yards than any Nebraska wide receiver last year in Division I at New Mexico State. Not for a very good team. But I just think that some wide receivers need to be on this list. I included 2 because I think that's going to be the offense. I project there's going to be a lot of slinging the ball around, and he's going to need some targets to step up. I think Marcus Washington is going to be one of those guys. He's, as far as his report coming in, seems to be pretty good at run blocking as well, so he can kind of get that going for Nebraska. Had a few drops, which angered Texas fans And so maybe he has to shore up his hands a little bit. But he's athletic. He's tall, 6'2". I think that's the second tallest weapon that you're going to see out there for Nebraska as far as wide receiver goes. Omar Manning obviously being 6'4", but I got Marcus Washington. Who's at number 4 for you?
I want to do a quick shout out first. Willie says that LSE, that's Lincoln Southeast,
Yep.
right? Lincoln Southeast freshman Thomas Bryson just won Class A golf championship, a freshman. So it sounds like
Nice.
we're gonna have to remember that name, Bach. Thomas Bryson. So
That's a good golf name, too.
shout out to Thomas. No, that's incredible. Class A as a freshman.
Yeah.
Shoo. Might have to keep our eye on him. Maybe he'll get recruited in Nebraska. Who
Yeah.
knows? Nebraska's got a golf team, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so there you go. Number 4, I have Tommy Hill. You know I'm very high on Tommy Hill, Bach. And I was looking at the class of 2022. Obviously, O'Shawn Mathis went from a 3-star in high school to a 4-star in the transfer portal. Outside of that, Tommy Hill is the only guy that kept his 4-star. So he's a 4-star recruit out of high school, 4-star recruit coming into the transfer portal. You're assuming he's probably going to take the place as Cam Taylor Britt, kind of that lockdown guy on the outside. So I think he's going to have a big year, especially when that defense is looking to maybe reload a little bit, because I mean, you have a lot of guys going off to the NFL, a few guys graduating. So I've got Tommy Hill, and I'll tell you now, he obviously, outside of who we're probably going to both have number 1, is the only defensive guy that I have on this list.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I like that pick. I think between him, like we said, we're keeping out the JUCOs here, but I think Deshaun Singleton, a JUCO transfer, might take one of those spots. Tommy Hill, I know, is expected to kind of be that guy, maybe the corner, starting at corner there. But from what I saw in the spring game, he was out there with some of the lower units too. So I think he's got a little bit of ways to rise to get that. But that's the expectation. And between them, throw Kane Williams in there. You hear it from a lot of pundits, and I have to agree with them. Is that this secondary is more athletic than last year, which is saying quite a bit, because Cam Taylor Britt showed off his athleticism. Deontay Williams, when they did their skill drills in the summer last year, was a top name on some of those. So that says a lot. But between them, there's a lot of athleticism there. Is that going to translate to the field as far as getting experience? Because that's where they are kind of missing a little bit. But some guys like Omar Brown at least has some experience there. Tommy Hill, not too much, but kind of in the same case with Kane Williams, where young guys, highly recruited, big time 4-stars, and we'll see if they can turn it over. I've got Devin Drew at number 4, of course, a transfer from Texas Tech. The fact that he's a lot of this had to do with need, right? I mean, they absolutely needed a guy that's been through it, and he's been through it. And so you got Ty Robinson, O'Shawn Mathis, Devin Drew, I think will be one of your starters there on the front line of experienced defensive linemen, and I don't expect him to flash or have a huge game, but I think that one of my favorites out of the group to start would be Devin Drew, so I had to put him on the list.
I'd agree with you. I'd kind of be surprised if he didn't start. At number 3, I have Trey Palmer, and I was asking you before the show too. I want to ask the text line 402-464-5685. Outside of Wan'Dale Robinson, who obviously went on to Kentucky, got drafted in the NFL, who was the last big playmaker that Nebraska had? Like, a team came in to Lincoln and it says, you have to watch out for that guy. Like, we're going to get beat by anybody but that guy. I think Trey Palmer has the potential to be that guy. Will he? I don't know. We haven't seen him do too much at LSU. Obviously, it's very different circumstances here in Nebraska. Follows Mickey Joseph. I would say that he's probably the number 1 receiver. I don't know who else would be. Maybe Omar, but I mean, who even knows at this point, right? I mean, we've said that the past 2 seasons. So
he did get pretty consistent as being a target to sound the second half of that year.
He did, but if I had to say going into the season, who is the number 1 receiver and who has the most big playmaking ability is going to be a former 5-star any day of the week. So I've got Trey Palmer at 3, and I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. The last guy that was, because obviously Wan'Dale, would it be Amir Abdullah? Like, I feel like it's been a while since there's been a guy that you say before you even enter the stadium, we are not going to lose to that guy. And I think he has the potential to be that.
Yeah, off the text line, we have early DPE, DeMorning Pearson. I think that's a solid pick. Jamal Turner, it's going back a ways.
That's a while.
Amir Abdullah.
Amir Abdullah's a while ago, too, yeah.
I would say that's your guy, though. I mean, because I think, Stanley Morgan was good. It ended up being a 1,000-yard receiver. And you did have to look out for him, but a lot of that was in Well, I mean, at times when they weren't doing too great. I mean, I think he'd be close. I mean, he's a solid receiver. I don't know if you would describe him as much as a playmaker. So yeah, I don't think Nebraska and Wandale certainly would fit in that
Absolutely,
category too.
but he ended up transferring and now is
More
in the
so
NFL.
like Kentucky than at Nebraska.
Right,
So
right.
there you go. I have number 3. I have Trey Palmer too. We just went over that. I'll let you continue with number 2 here.
Number 2, I think we might have these flip-flopped. I have O'Shawn Mathis at 2. I think a need is a big part of it, and I think the fact that a dominant pass rusher can change the entire outlook of a defense. We see it at the NFL level, we see it at the college level, you can even look at the high school level. If you have a dominant defensive end that can get to the quarterback, it changes the way that you run your offense, it changes the way that you run your defense, it impacts the entire game. So I have O'Shawn Mathis at 2, and then I'll just go right into 1 because I'm assuming we'll have this flip-flop and we can discuss it. I've got Casey Thompson at 1. And I've told you, Bach, and I've told everyone this. If Nebraska is going to be successful this season, and I have 9-3 put up on the board right now, for them to get to that number, Casey Thompson has to be great, possibly elite. Like this season is going to ride on the success of Casey Thompson. And I hate to say that, but when you look at Adrian Martinez and the success of the team as a whole, if Adrian Martinez was just a little bit better in just a few games, we're having completely different discussions about the direction of Nebraska football right now. Completely different discussions. So I think this is going to ride on Casey Thompson. I know that's a lot of pressure to put on a guy who's never put on a Nebraska uniform outside of the spring game. But I think at the reality of the situation, you've got the team. You had the team last year. I think you have the coaches in the building. You just got to get the quarterback right. And I think they did. And that's why I'm at 9-3, and I think it's going to be a big part of this season.
And a lot of it comes down on how much you would describe those losses and how much blame you would put on Adrian Martinez. Maybe that's why I have him
people
flip-flopped.
have a different opinion.
It's because I'm not sure if they have the coaches in the building as opposed to, that's kind of my question there at the top after 4 years of not having a very good product. I mean, and a lot of it being like coaching throughout a game. So,
which they changed.
What?
Which they changed.
They changed the way that they're going to do it. I'm just saying. There's losses that I could directly point to coaching rather than Adrian Martinez. Or
there's losses that I could directly point to Adrian Martinez, though.
There are.
So it goes both ways.
So it does.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean, they all combine to mess up and have their mistakes and lose in the moments, and they just couldn't get the win. Hopefully that's changed this year. I think O'Shawn Mathis, maybe I have him at number 1 because I've been waiting, because we're talking about the quarterback, but also because I've been waiting for quite some time. It's tough to get that guy. And Nebraska's not the only team that's like waiting around 5 to 6 years to get an edge rusher like O'Shawn Mathis could be. And if he turns out to be, that similar threat that what we saw from, Randy Gregory's an extreme example, but an Eric Martin from back in the day, or, the Kyle Vanden Bosch's, Mike Ruckers of the world, before you get into the Grant Wisdoms and stuff like that, like there's levels to it, obviously, but you just could do great things for Nebraska, especially their secondary and with the other players that they have around him. I think you got quite a package when you're going to be pass rushing, even though, Caleb Tanner, maybe they didn't, it seems like Caleb Tanner, all his plays were penalties or he got called back for some reason. So his stats didn't look quite as great, but, along with Nelson, and Ty Robinson, I think they're going to have quite a package.
Interior, Bog. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't get to the quarterback from the interior. You made some serious moves. And I know it was super scary when Casey Rogers entered the transfer portal, but Devin Drew can get to the quarterback. Ty Robinson can get to the quarterback.
John Cortland says Chubba might have something to say. Chubba Purdy could put him on.
I don't know if it's just recency that we've been hearing that. I've been hearing a lot about Chubba Purdy.
Hey, he had a good spring game.
I know fans have been talking about him a lot.
There's nothing we love more than a good spring game here in Nebraska to start
hyping
somebody
quarterback
up.
Duel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back here on the Ticket Water Cooler, we'll go back in history. It's Fox History Lessons back to the year 2010. It was a good year, especially the first few games. We'll go back to that coming up next here on the Ticket Water Cooler.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancene.com.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Brown Shoe Fit is gearing up for spring with new inventory on the way. They're stocking up on new spring sandals and athletic shoes daily in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Keen, Merrell, On, and many, many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrax. Spring is the season to be active and busy. Don't let your feet lose their support with old rundown shoes or sandals. Stop by Brown's Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Nominations for the Serve Nebraska Step Forward Awards are now open. Volunteers are making Nebraska communities stronger every day. Help us celebrate their hard work by nominating the volunteers in your life. The Step Forward Awards are the most prestigious awards for volunteerism in the state, and honorees are hand-selected by Nebraska's governor. Learn more about the Step Forward Awards and submit a nomination by July 1st at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Bach. Join me and Eric Strickland this Thursday at the brand new Double Eagle Golf Simulator Bar on West O Street inside the Kinetic Sports Complex from 3 to 6 p.m. That's this Thursday at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler, wrapping things up the way we like to do. And we haven't done it this week yet. We kind of strayed away from it because there's news. But when there's not a whole lot of news, sporting news going on, then we jump back in time and we look back at the year as we kind of go up all the way until this year. We started off in 1993. We are on the year 2010, and not a bad year for Nebraska football, even though there was complaints at the time.
2010, a great year for music too.
Yeah, not a bad year for music. I think we've got some music we can pull up here to remind us of some of that great music that we had that year. Let's see if this is plays here. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Let's get the 2010 vibes going in here. Need a little help from our friend Ursher.
Oh my God! There's so many ways to love you.
Please stop singing. You're ruining the song right now.
oh my!
The
song was great.
You're really not a good. Do you ever do karaoke?
No, I have, but I do tequila.
Oh yeah.
I have two songs. I'll play tequila depending on circumstances, and then I'll play "Born in the USA." That's a great karaoke song. Oh my God, this is a good song, Bach.
This is a good song.
I did a good job.
Yeah, this is a good choice. What is this? Was this just called "Oh My"?
OMG.
OMG. Okay, by Ursher from back in the day.
Stop ever singing. Yeah, my voice definitely isn't great. I apologize.
Well, in any case, we feel like we're in 2010 now, and what that means is Nebraska is ranked number 8 in the preseason polls. Wow, that'd be quite something cool. Obviously, coming off 2009, one of the best years in recent Nebraska history. Going into 2010, Nebraska made the decision to move to the Big Ten prior to the season, so we all knew that was going down. It was the final season in the Big 12. Another surprise for the season was who was going to be the starting quarterback. They had Zach Lee, who was starting, Cody Green, who was kind of a young up-and-comer, and then this guy that just kind of redshirted, an athlete named Taylor Martinez. Surprised us all that Taylor Martinez actually started, and on his first run, ran 46 yards for a touchdown against Western Kentucky. I did not, Taylor Martinez was so off the radar that he sat in front of me in class, and I did not even know it was him.
Really?
Until the next week, because Taylor had a tattoo on his arm. And so I was just kind of, looking down at my papers at class and kind of look forward and saw that tattoo. I was like, that guy's got Taylor Martinez's tattoo. That's kind of weird. I was like, wait a minute, that's Taylor Martinez.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. But in any case, Nebraska started off pretty well, including a 56-21 thrashing of Jake Locker and Washington. That led to another game where Nebraska's quarterback, Taylor Martinez, the freshman sensation who was putting up Heisman-type numbers, rushed for 241 yards and 4 touchdowns on a Thursday night against Kansas State. The Heisman hype was crazy. I mean, people around Nebraska were getting – you could tell he's not a polished passer, but he was just – once he got his first step on you, especially his freshman year, he had blazing speed, and that set up Readout around the world. That was a heavily anticipated game against Texas. Nebraska, obviously, the 1-2 loss the year before. One of the most anticipated games I can remember. Texas didn't do their part. They lost a few games leading up to that game, so it was kind of like, man, we're not taking Texas out at the top, but we'll still punch them in the mouth. That didn't happen either. Nebraska lost 20-13, continuing to lose to Texas, and just frustrating because that Texas team was not very good. They did bounce back, though, as Martinez did show off his arm a little bit with 323 yards passing and 5 touchdowns to add to his 112 yards on the ground in a 51-41 shootout win over Justin Blackman in Oklahoma State.
Nice.
Blackman had a pretty good game. They actually took Prince Amukamara off of him and put Alfonso Dennard on them. Nebraska had a really good secondary that year, so they had some options there. They also improved later on. Roy Halu ran for 307 yards. That's a lot. School record against number 5 unbeaten Blaine Gabbert in Missouri. And you felt like
Blaine Gabbert, nice.
Yeah, that was number 5 Missouri too. So that was like a big win. You felt like Nebraska maybe was over that Texas loss and back in the thick of things. Close call against Iowa State. Eric Haig, who was the peso, played the peso position, which is basically an extra cornerback on the field that could also tackle. So he had an interception on a 2-point fake field goal attempt. It was a PAT attempt that Iowa State decided to go for the win, and Eric Haig intercepted that, thankfully. So they started the season 9-1, and then had to go and play Texas A&M. They lost 9-6 to Texas A&M.
It's your kind of game.
That is my type of game. Ryan Tannehill was actually starting his 4th game at quarterback for Texas A&M. They had Von Miller. I mean, that was a pretty good Texas A&M team. Still, there was a little bit of controversy coming out of the game. Bo was seen yelling at T-Magic on the sidelines, and Taylor had injured himself, and I believe went to call his dad. Bo didn't like that. At least that was the rumors going around. I can't remember if that was ever confirmed. Anyways, Nebraska ended up winning the North after a victory against Colorado. And then the Big 12 championship. It would have been so cool if they'd won it on their way out of the conference. I had visions of them winning it and throwing it and breaking it on the ground on their way out.
Awesome.
That would have been cool. And they were up 17-0 on Oklahoma. Roy Haley was running all over the Sooners defense. And then things turned the corner. They ended up losing 23-20. By the end of the game, they were just having Rex Burkhead run Wildcat because they couldn't get any other offense going. And then that set them up for a Holiday Bowl rematch with Washington. Again, they beat Washington 56-21. So there's not too much
What happened?
excitement to go play Washington again. So they ended up losing this Holiday Bowl.
But what happened? I mean, how do you go from beating a team 56-21?
Well, it's hard to beat
losing?
it's hard to beat a team twice. It's even harder to beat a team twice when you were that close to like a lot of your goals, and then you get a rematch opponent for the Holiday Bowl. I think they were uninspired to play.
Yeah.
But in any case, it was a good year for Nebraska. 10-4 ultimately. Lawante David set the school record with 153 tackles. Since I think a lot of people love the 2009 team. I think because of this way that year ended with the loss to Washington. All those other losses were pretty close though, and obviously you felt like there was more on the line. I think this team gets overlooked sometimes. You just kind of say, yeah, that 2009 team. I think 2010 deserves to be in that conversation too, right up there. And for what it's worth, Jared Crick on the line, a lot of people will also remember him as being a guy that was, he really benefited from Sue playing next to him. He ended up being like a 9-year NFL guy. And in that year, his junior year, he like equaled his numbers from his sophomore year. So he proved himself too. Just a great defense. And the last year for Sean Watson actually as offensive coordinator as well. But
Nebraska got up to number 5 too.
Yeah. I think
Pretty good team.
I think that's the last time that they've gotten that high too. Is to peak that high.
5.
Yeah.
The thing that hurts though is that they ended at 20.
Yeah,
That's
again,
kind of disrespectful. I mean, that was a good team.
it was, but again, once you lose to Washington in the Holiday Bowl, what do you do with it? You know. Darn it, Jake Locker.
Jake Locker. Didn't they have a really good receiver too?
They might have. I have to go back and remember. I wasn't anybody too incredible. Might have been
Washington, and then they made the
Yeah.
playoff. Was
Yeah,
the
not
first,
too-
the
too many
first
years
year of the
later.
playoff.
Yeah, Chris Peterson. This was not Chris Peterson's Washington.
That's right. That's right.
Might have been. I have to go back and look.
Probably
at
the
this.
worst team to ever make the playoff. That Washington team.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
very good.
They didn't look very good.
No.
That's enough for today. Maybe we'll go over 2011 Nebraska. Also, Strick is coming up next on the block. So excited to have Strick join us. That's coming up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but